Hello friends, welcome to our channel Kids Moral Stories.
So today we are going to tell you the story.
So friends, subscribe to our channel so we will bring new stories for you,
and hit the notification bell too.
and press the like button until it reaches 100 likes. So we are starting with the farmer and the fox. In a certain village, there once lived a poor farmer with his wife and two children. Of his children, the elder one was a daughter who was already married to a hard-working and well-to-do farmer of another village. The younger child was a boy who was very handsome, strong and smart, even though he had a little education. The farmer wished to get his son married, but he could not afford the expenses of suitable match. The farmer owned only a small piece of land on which he and his wife worked very hard. He grew sweet potatoes for a living. Some of these he had his family ate, the rest he sold. It happened that the bamboo grove on this piece of land there lived a fox named Charuluruka. One day, as the farmer was digging up his sweet potatoes, the fox came to him. Uncle, he said,
I would like to give you.
I would
like to give you. I noticed you to plant sweet potatoes or living. However, if you boil the sweet potatoes before you plant them, you will get a better crop of more and larger potatoes. Really? Said the farmer. I did not know that, but I will take your advice, and planted boiled potatoes on his piece of land. However, a few days later he began to doubt. He wondered that the fox had been trying to play a trick on him. As such, he went to his land. At once he began to dig up the potatoes he had planted, but as he suspected, not a single one to be found. The fox had slyly eaten them all. The farmer was very angry. He laid a trap for the fox and soon caught it. You lied to me! He caused the fox. You told me to plant boiled potatoes because you wish to eat them. Would you give me a better crop as a punishment? As a punishment for your wickedness, you shall die. Oh, uncle, please spare my life. Spare my life, begged the fox. I promise I will help you in any way you like, if only you will free me. Help me? Cried the farmer. In what way can you help me? Well, uncle, said the fox, I know you are anxious here, but to get your son married, to have been unable to arrange a suitable match because you are so poor, but if you let me help you, I promise to marry your son to the daughter of a very rich man. Hearing that, the farmer was a bit upset. All right, he agreed. I will spare your life till such time till such time this marriage had been arranged. After that you will die, and I must warn you, if you play any tricks in the meanwhile, I shall kill you on that spot without the slightest hesitation. That the farmer let the fox go so that he could carry out his promise. Now it happened in the neighborhood village called Mandri. There lived a very rich man named Kalparabari. Kalabepari had an only child, a daughter who was sure to inherit all her father's wealth. One day on his death, the fox therefore went to Kalabari.
"Oh, great man," he said to him, "I come to you in the role of matchmaker. I understand you wish to give your daughter in marriage. As such, I have found a suitable match for her. The boy is very handsome and smart. His father is a rich farmer who owns many buildings and many large pieces of land. I suggest you give your daughter in marriage to this boy." "That is very good news you bring me, Charuruka," said Kalabepari. Do arrange a meeting with a rich farmer at once so that we can discuss the wedding plans." The fox went off at once and informed the farmer what Kalabepari had said. "But how can we hold this meeting?" protested the farmer. You told this Kalabepari that I am very rich. The moment he comes to visit my home, he will see that you lie. He will find out how poor I really am. "Don't worry about that," said the fox cunningly. "I will arrange the meeting in the house of another rich friend of mine. That way Kalabepari will not discover your secret. Just trust me." True to his word, the fox went off and visited a rich man he knew. He requested him to hold the wedding discussions in his house. The rich man consented, and the fox next went off and told Kalabepari what he had arranged. "The rich farmer will meet you in the house of a rich friend of mine," he explained to Kalabepari. "He cannot meet you in his own place at present because the house is under renovation. He is building some extra rooms for his son and future daughter-in-law to live in." "Oh, that will be all right," said Kalabepari trustingly, and the meeting was thus arranged. For the meeting, the fox borrowed some rich garments and jewels from his rich friend for the farmer and his family to wear. Decked out in their finery, the farmer and his son looked splendid indeed. Kalabepari was very much impressed. He agreed to have the boy as his son-in-law, and the wedding arrangements went ahead. The fox took the initiative in all matters. As per the custom, the wedding was arranged in fine style in the bride's home. For the wedding, the groom and his family once more wore rich garments and jewels provided by the fox's rich friend. However, the farmer now began to grow worried. He realized that after the wedding, as per the custom, he would have to arrange a grand reception at his house. As he wondered how he could do so without any money. Now we are undone. He wrung his hands and said to Fox, "From where I will get money for such a grand reception? Why, the moment Kalabipari comes to my house, he will see how poor I am. He will realize I have deceived him, and he will call off the marriage." "Don't worry, uncle," said the fox. "If you leave it to me, nothing untoward will take place, and will be well, and your son will soon be established in a rich home with a rich wife." With that, the fox went off and issued invitations to all and sundry. Means he spoke of a grand wedding reception at the farmer's house. He mentioned to everybody the wonderful dishes that would be prepared for the occasion. Kalabipari was very impressed. He could hardly wait to visit his son-in-law's house to witness all the grand preparations which the farmer had made to receive his future daughter-in-law to her new home. However, on the night before the grand reception, the fox slyly set fire to the farmer's poor house. In the twinkling of an eye, almost the house was reduced to ashes.
The fox then at once went of great distress to Kalabipari, who, "Oh, what will I tell you? What will I tell you?" he wailed. All his run. "What is the matter?" asked Kalabipari in surprise. "A terrible accident had taken place," wept the fox. The farmer's entire property has been burned down in a sudden fire. He had lost everything. Oh, what will he do now? Hearing this, oh, what will he do now? Hearing this, the poor man, where will your daughter now go to live? She has no future home." Since Kalabipari was a very kind man, he said at once, "I'm really very sorry to hear that, but it will be no problem that at all. I will build a grand house from my son-in-law and his parents where my daughter shall live too. In fact, I agree to share my vast wealth with my son-in-law and his family, as after all such wealth will rightfully belong to my daughter, One day, hearing that, the fox smiled secretly to himself, since it was what he planned. Thus, the farmer and his wife, along with his son and daughter-in-law, soon owned a grand home and had a lot of money. The farmer was rich now. He had no one else to thank but the fox, who had slyly eaten his sweet potatoes. Well, uncle, said the fox, when the farmer and his family were safely settled in their new home, the time was now to come carry out your threat. You may now put me to death as your threatened. On hearing that, the farmer began to laugh. Ha 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 ha. Put you in death? He cried. Why, I could never do such a thing when you have done so much for me. In fact, from now on, we are the best friends of friends. And that was exactly how it was from then till the end of their days.
So friends,
Tomorrow's story is Rupa and the monkey.
so friends, write in comments. Name the animal who is always cunning and wild animal, and who had eaten up farmer's potatoes slyly.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato, I mean. So, what is the meaning of threatened?
The meaning of threatened is to seem like to happen or cause something unpleasant. What is the meaning of slyly?
The meaning of slyly is acting or done in a secret or dishonest way, often intending to trick people. Synonym: cunning. Example: he glanced at her slyly. So friends, subscribe to our channel.
Hit the notification bell and press the right button.
Bye.